Welcome to the Jim Fannon Show. Today we got Jennifer Lynn in the studio. She's going to talk and play. Oh no, we got the wrong cut up. Oh no, it's horrible. See what happens when you're your own producer. Here's the website, jenniferlynn.net. And then let it play out a little bit so it's not a hard cut. There we go. So far, so good. I don't know. Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. I've been trying to get away from politics and all the negativity. Yesterday, I had a great conversation with Rob Berry, the Blue Turtle. He's got such an interesting story, and he doesn't think, he's like, well, what do you... Nobody wants to talk, nobody wants to hear about my life. I'm like, dude, you're an inspiration. And I don't know the story. So I appreciate it because it gives me a break. I can do the monologue and the politics and the crap, for lack of a better term, anytime. So thanks for your time. I appreciate you being open to doing this. Not many strangers. No, you're not a stranger off the street. I've known you from Central.
From Central, yeah, when I used to sing there and you worked the switchboard, the cameras, right?
Camera.
Yeah.
Well, I was doing camera up and then I went over to, I'm like, what's that guy doing? Mark was doing, Brenda's husband, Mark?
Yep.
Was doing video switch. And I'm like, I want to, what's that? Oh, that's the video director. I'm like,
let's do that.
I like that. Look at all those flashing lights and dials and sliding, like, the first time I came to Central, I looked at that soundboard. I'm like, oh. I don't know how to run a soundboard. I just have a mind like a air traffic controller. So you give me 40 things to do that kind of tunnels into one objective.
Yep.
Bring it. So, and then I shadowed Derek. Yes. Love Derek.
Yes, he's amazing.
What a mind.
Yes.
And a great leader.
Yes.
I would imagine
very
he's
talented.
A great mentor as well. He's been that for me. Bill's wife, sorry, see what happens when
Pastor Bill's wife?
Yeah.
Carlene,
yeah. So I went through Carlene for the hookup, and she put me beside Derek, but she didn't do it through the normal, she probably just let Derek know that Jim's coming in and he's, maybe a potential new guy for you. So I shadowed him behind the board, the soundboard outside the booth. And he says, after the first service, he's like, well, this, you can go in the booth and stick around if you want, or you can go. I mean, like, whatever. But, like, we start our volunteers over there, by the way.
Yeah.
And he points at camera one, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to come and learn the board?
Yeah.
No.
Baby steps.
Yeah. So I was on camera for about a year and loved it.
That's awesome.
Got really good at it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just focus and zoom. It's not a big deal, but it's also being obedient and knowing how to get the
right
shot when they tell you quickly, right?
Yes.
So, but now I'm that guy, and I've just found such a huge opportunity to mentor because sometimes I've got teenagers. I had a 13-year-old kid last year from Eden. The first time he came off camera one, his face, the smile was just like this big.
He loved it. That's
and
awesome.
he says, that was so cool. I'm like, dude, all right. Like, I got a guy.
Yeah. There's
it's like getting my hooks in, right?
Lots of great opportunities there. They have so many great people there and opportunities and good-hearted people. So.
So I spent some time doing that, but yeah, I just found it a great opportunity to get in the ear of some of these young people, and well, who knows, maybe in some of the old guys that are on the cameras too, because I'm pretty in tune to the fact that maybe these kids don't hear "I love you" or "I'm proud of you" or "nice job" or a way to go.
Yeah, just some encouragement.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I mean, I'm also very critical, and we're doing a job, and it's important that we do it well. So I have no problem correcting and suggesting and offering advice and stuff like that as far as the technical aspect goes. But I make sure that when we're done, I go, "Thank you," and I do it before because I lose half my crew when the speaker comes up, right?
Yeah.
Because we got 5 cameras for the rock and roll show, and then I've only got basically 2 for the rest of the show. So before the 3 and 4 leave, I'm like, I love you guys. Way to go.
Awesome
I'm proud
job.
of you.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Anyways, enough about me. Talk to us about who you are. How did you get to this place? Now you're over at Mountain Park.
Yes.
So you're playing there on a regular basis?
Yes. Or? Yeah, I'm a regular there.
Tell us, before we get into that, just tell us a little bit about like who you are and where you came from and what you like to do.
Born and raised in St. Catharines here. I've lived in the Niagara region for most of my life, with the exception of maybe about 10 years in the Kitchener-Stratford area when I was married. And moved back down here to be closer to family. And I have a great support system down here, not just family, but friends, and then church community as well. Really important to me. So that's what brought me back home.
All right. Yeah. I'm going to show your website here. Now, tell me about what jenniferlynn.net is about. I know you have a blog here. I'm on your About Me page here, so people can look and just see a little bit about you. But what's the vision for this type of activity? I mean, you're a great writer.
Thank you.
When I look at what you write, I'm like, oh my.
Thank you so much.
There's so many words. Like, that takes a long time. And
it does.
If you're not, if writing doesn't come naturally, it's a lot of work. Like, for me to write that many words, I got to go and tune. Like, I'm really hypercritical too. So I just find that, man, writing something that long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, it
tough.
depends on what I'm writing. Certain blogs have come out just like quick and I'm done in 2 hours. It happens sometimes, and those are really great moments. And then other blogs, they'll take me a couple days or even a week because I'll write something and I'll go back and I'll edit it. I try not to publish something that I write on the same day. So I can sleep on it and then go back with fresh eyes and retweak it and things like that. Just to make sure it's saying what I want it to say. But it just started as really just an outlet for me, another creative outlet other than music, to be able to write. And friends of mine, Emily and James, they go to Central. They encouraged me to start it. And so they were very instrumental in that. And I'm very thankful for their friendship and their guidance and encouragement, because I wouldn't have it if it wasn't for them. And so they kind of talked me into it and just to go for it. And I'm the kind of person where, like, I don't want to start something unless it's the way that I want it done.
I got that already.
You already know that.
Which is fine, but you really have to balance that with the idea. Like, I've used that as a crutch. Like, oh, I'm just going to wait till it's perfect. It's never perfect. And it's better to throw it out there and have it be half-assed.
It is what it is.
Than not really get it off at all, you know? So
yeah, exactly. So that's what they kind of instilled into me. And so they kind of give me that nudge. And then I started it and wasn't sure really what to expect. It was just kind of not just for me as another creative outlet, but it was also therapy, like free therapy for me as well. Just like music is, it was just another way to do that. And then hopefully, just like my music, hopefully it's an encouragement to others. And so that was the whole point of doing the blog as well. And as it's gone on and then more people read it, I just had a lady comment on one of my blogs just from maybe a couple months ago, where like you can comment on the end of my blogs, like if you want to.
Oh, cool.
And it was just,
site?
Pardon?
WordPress lets you do that?
Yes, it is. Yeah. And it was just a random person. I didn't know who this person was. She had stumbled upon my blog when she was looking up a certain quote or something. And she stumbled upon it and she said it made her cry and it was an encouragement to her and it was what she needed to hear and stuff like that. And I've had a few people private message me and stuff. And it's always an encouragement when people do that, because then it makes me feel like, you know, what you're doing is not in vain. It's for a purpose. And it kind of helps me to just kind of keep going no matter what.
How do you get past the who do I think I am type of, because I mean, I think I guess I'm an artist at some level. Somebody said that to me years ago. Well, you're an artist too. Look what you're doing. I'm like, I don't really consider myself one, but how do you get over the, who do you think you are?
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
because,
I think that all the time, for sure. Like I'm nobody, like I'm not famous. I'm not like, nobody really knows who I am outside of my social circle, really. So yeah, there's definitely thoughts about that. I doubt myself all the time. Anyone who knows me really well knows that I can be very insecure and doubt myself and, oh, I'm not ready yet. And you know, a big rehearsal person. I like to know what's going on and, you know, and just have everything in place before I do something, you know, before I feel like I'm ready. And a lot of what I've learned in the last couple years is just, that's all garbage. You just have to go for it and kind of that famous quote, just kind of take a leap and build your wings on the way down.
Or yeah, just believe the net is there. Like, and it's like I told you coming in today, you can't screw this up.
Yeah.
Like it's live radio to a certain extent, and even what you might consider a nightmare is good radio.
Yeah. At least it'll be entertaining.
You can't screw it up at all. So, and that's, I'm pretty good at acknowledging people. I think you know that about me already in our limited interactions, and you're really easy to get to know as far as you're an open book. Like I see discipline and focus and commitment, and I think you see and admire in others what you lack in yourself. And that's what I said to you in the chat yesterday. Oh, discipline. Foreign to me. Like I shouldn't say that I'm hard on myself, but I have discipline for this.
Yeah, because you're passionate about it.
Yeah, but I don't practice. Like I loathe rehearsal.
Yeah.
I've never, like since we started this season of the Jim Fannon Show that's, not on terrestrial radio. Like on terrestrial radio, I had notes.
Yeah.
But I never rehearsed anything. And I feel like when I rehearse, I start stumbling. And, it just seems not authentic. So, like, you don't see any show notes. I've got nothing really planned here to talk to you about. If we run out of things, I know we can wrap it up and go have a pizza. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think for me, like certain things, when it comes to my music and when it comes to things like my blog and when it comes to even things like going to the gym and having discipline for certain things like that, I think it kind of started with the music side of things, where like when I was singing at Central, rehearsal is huge, both at Central and where I go now, Mountain Park. So there's we have Thursday night rehearsals, and everything is done like a certain way, so that there's we try to do things with excellence, to do our best with the gifts that God has given us, which I think is a good thing. And so I think everything just kind of started there with rehearsal and just everyone having a job to do and kind of getting together as a team. And when everyone does their job, what they're supposed to do, then the whole part comes together, the whole project comes together, whether that's music or whatever you're working on. So I've kind of learned to appreciate the discipline of rehearsal and the discipline of practice. And so I have them to thank for that. Actually, my time at Central, I learned so much, and I am always going to be so appreciative of that and the leadership there and what it taught me. And same thing at Mountain Park, same thing, great leadership. And I'm still learning, always learning.
And leadership's so important, and I see it everywhere, and because I'm a huge critic of it, right? So I'll acknowledge it where it exists, but immediately I see where it doesn't as well. And Central hasn't failed me much, and it's less about faith in God and church than it is about connectedness, teamwork. And when you're on the platform and you're part of the worship team, and I never really got worship. It's the music. Oh, okay. I thought worship was praying. Yeah. But Kim McLaren she would always refer to it as the worship team. I'm like, the worship team? Yeah. Isn't that the band? Yeah. Like music? Yeah. And it's not lacking there at all, and it's funny because I see leadership from Bill, which is the top of the pyramid in that case. He might not put it that way, but he is the
lead
he's
pastor.
The top. Yeah, he's the lead pastor. I mean, he is the leader. I mean, he's got to be accountable to the board of directors, and there's leaders there too. But I see it I see Bill's leadership in the parking lot. And not only that, Carlene's leadership through Bill in the parking lot. Yep, absolutely. I can taste it in the coffee. Yeah, absolutely. Because Bill makes coffee a very certain way, and it comes from Carlene's Scandinavian brew. It's thick. You can stand the spoon in the coffee. And so when you go to the cafe, it's the same. Okay, at Men's Group, it's that brew. Yeah. Okay, and now I just started drinking coffee over the last few years ago, and it was my church that tricked me. Because it's free and it smells great, and it's 7:30 on Thursday mornings. I'm like, oh, some mornings I come there, I don't want to be there. And I drag myself because it's a good support group, and it's not got anything to do with the God thing. It's my men. and it's a good foundation. But
Yes.
that leadership, like I said, you could taste it in the coffee. I remember, I wish I could remember his name. Just I don't know how else to describe him. A tiny, very black man,
Okay.
and very thick accent,
Okay.
and sweet. And my girlfriend at the time, many years ago, when I pulled up, he came over to the car. I'm like I'm rolling down the window like he's going to tell me to move or something. Like, what's this guy doing? And she says, he's getting my door.
Aww.
So I'm already out of the car by now, and I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
you're getting my girl's door? Like, come here.
That's awesome.
I give him a big hug, and
That's
he's like,
awesome.
and so
Yeah.
I made sure to tell Bill in the men's group, I'm like, dude, you're like, you can see the leadership and that's the way it should be.
Yeah,
So
it's about community. It's about family. I think people have a misconception about what church is or should be, and it's very little to do with programs and structure, and it has everything to do with community. We weren't meant to do life alone.
mm-hmm.
And it's really important that we have people alongside of us, not just for encouragement, but for accountability as well, because life is hard enough as it is. And, doing it alone is makes it even worse. We weren't created to do things isolated. We were
Mm-hmm.
created for relationship and for community. And so number one, the church is about community and doing life together.
Mm-hmm. Now, I saw it over at Mountain Park, too. After I got over walking by all the traders that used to be at Central, because I was like, and then I had to think, well, listen, dude, you're here now.
Mm-hmm.
You're not being loyal to your church, if you see it that way, too, but that you're there. I see Andrew, and then the other Andrew, Alex, and then Brenda. Like, I knew that most of them were over there, but they've run a tight ship over there too, but I wasn't prepared for. Now, like, it's 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, it's, what do you mean? Like, nobody told me this is a half an hour longer than I'm used to.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to wind up after an hour. I'm getting restless in my seat, and I'm like, man, they're really going long. Oh no, it's an hour and a half
Yeah.
service.
And we just moved to 2 services
Oh, did you?
as well. Yes.
So you're doing like a 9:30?
So
and
it's
11,
what is it? 9 o'clock and 11.
9,
I think
11.
it is.
Okay.
I should know this. It's embarrassing that I don't know this. But yeah, I think it's 9 and 11. I believe.
Well, it's nice that they're coming back after the shutdown, because there's
for
very
sure.
few churches that are actually.
Yeah, I
in
think
person
everyone's
now.
just doing what they're comfortable with and what their conscience allows them to do. And I think it's great to see community back out there again. And as far as the local church is concerned, like regardless of where you choose to attend, we're all one church. A church isn't a building, it's the people. And so, different churches have different names and different affiliations and things like that. But at the end of the day, we're all one family and we're all one body. And we're all one church under God. So I think when we think of it that way, we can get rid of a lot of the division.
How you been handling this COVID experience with the shutdown, the lockdown? I know you're out of work partially, and you picked up something. I don't know if you want to talk about that, but your old career, or
Yeah,
the
so
way of
I'm-
putting food on your table.
Yeah, so I'm thankful
pause.
I have something right now. I think this time a lot of people are realizing what they have to be thankful for. I know there's a lot of things that we can complain about and things, but for me, I've realized like at least I have some income, like I have something going on, and I'm able to still have a roof over my head and food on the table and everything like that. So I'm learning to see the good, the positive, the silver linings, rather than the negative. And I think times like this, difficult times, it's a choice. You can see the positive or you can see the negative. And times like this can kind of be used to help us to grow and develop into, I think, who God intended us to be as far as character and how we see life, how we see other people, our relationship with Him as well. So I think it's all about perspective, and it's all about choices as well, and how we choose to see things.
Yeah, definitely. I like how you said learned to see.
Yeah, it's a process
the
for sure.
positive,
Oh yeah,
because
I
it's
haven't
so-
arrived or anything. Like I still have off days where you wake up and certain things aren't the way that you want them to be, whether it's like professionally or relationship wise or, you know, financially or whatever. And you got to make a choice every day.
I'm curious about how that works. When you wake up and you haven't even gotten out of bed yet, and you're already miserable.
Yeah.
Well, how the heck can that happen? It's a brand new day.
Yes.
You even said to me the other day, well, you know what? Tomorrow's a new day. So it doesn't matter. You're going to wake up and it's going to be a brand new day. And I was grateful for that because you need to be reminded. I know that. Yeah. But, you know, when someone else says it to you, but I'm because, you know, I've been pretty lucky with my mental stability, let's call it. Yeah. You know, I don't suffer, you know, depression that much, but I've got a little taste of it over the last few years in the winter. And I'm like, when you wake up and you're sour and evil, well, not evil, you know what I mean, but you're like, God help me if anyone gets in my way today. I'm going to jail. You know?
Yeah, well, I think everybody has days like that, and again, it's a choice that we make. You know, being happy is not the same as having joy. Happiness can go up and down and fluctuate with our happenings around us. It can be affected by our circumstance and our situations, but joy is a choice that we can still choose to have regardless of what's happening around us, regardless of how things are going. Whether it's good or bad, we can still choose that, and we can make a conscious decision on how we treat people, how we treat ourselves, the choices that we make, the habits that we participate in, things like that.
What are you fired up about these days? What are you incredibly passionate? I know obviously your faith and what you do on the stage is really, you're passionate about that. Your writing, obviously making a difference for others is something that cranks you up. But outside of that, what else turns you on?
Oh gosh. Just music and having that creative outlet. And so like when we did start going back to church again and I was able to sing again and actually have a mic in my hand, that was huge. I was so excited. So I think it's like something that like I didn't take it for granted per se beforehand, but now I'm extra thankful for it. So my attitude has changed in that way too. And just using this time to prepare for when I am able to go back out and sing. So writing songs and using this time to really focus on that and getting better at the guitar as much as I can, and writing blogs and encouraging others and just kind of focusing on coming out of this thing better than when I went in.
All right, so you got some music you're going to play for us. I want to know what they're about. I care less. Like I told you yesterday. Yeah. After I get done an interview, like Rob Berry yesterday, I come down here, I get the music cranked up. I'm bouncing. I'm hardly seated. The music's loud. I'm on this huge high, you know. So I'm more interested in, you know, what it took, where you were as a person, what the inspiration of the music might have been. Sure. And then, you know, I told you, you know, one of my favorite clips is Jen Chapin's, where I've got her on the phone from Pennsylvania. Well, she's in New York, not Pennsylvania. In one of the boroughs, I can't remember, Manhattan. She talked about the song and then we played it. She talked about the song, and that was before her album ever came out. So I'm interested in that. But what do you got planned as far as because I don't want people to think that you just brought that guitar as a safety blanket that you're actually going to play something.
No, of course not. That's not what this is at all.
And I'll bring my other mic over so I pick up the guitar too, but take as long as you need to talk about what's the first song you're going to play.
So I'm going to do a song. Actually, this is my mom's favorite song that I've written. And when I told her I was coming here and doing this, that was like one of the first things are you going to do Grace and Mercy? You can do Grace and Mercy? It's
Mom!
Like, okay, fine. I sang it for her 60th birthday party a couple of weeks ago as well. She requested that. So
how old is the song?
Oh gosh, I think it's about a year and a half old.
Okay.
About that. So the story behind it is I was kind of going through the thick of, you know, something really difficult. And a friend of mine was also going through something really difficult. And so I wrote it from the perspective of, like, for myself, just kind of reflecting on my life and how God's grace and his mercy has been present in my life this whole time. And then also as an encouragement, not just to myself, but to others that are going through difficult times as well. And not to care really about what people think. as far as, you know, we all make mistakes. We all go through difficult times, and just to pick yourself back up and just kind of lean into God's grace in your life and keep moving forward. And if people want to talk, let them talk.
Wow.
It, you know, at the end of the day, it matters what God says about you, not what other people say about you.
All right, so I figured out how I can bring this mic over to you without anyone seeing us. So I'm just going to put your website up there, and I'm going to mute the mic. Then I'm going to make the switch, and then we'll go live. So this is Jennifer Lynn, everyone. Hang on one second.
When everyone else counted me out, you stayed behind to make sure I was fine. And nobody's perfect, and you knew I wasn't. They called me nothing, but you still saw something, and you walk with me through every valley, and you carry me through every storm, and you fight for me when all seems lost. And what did I do to deserve your grace and mercy? They follow me. Love so amazing unconditionally. When everything is closing in, you hide me underneath your wings, and I wouldn't have made it any other way except for grace and mercy. Grace and mercy. When they pointed out all of my flaws, you saw the diamond that I could become. All the pressure I felt, it put me through hell, but I'm so thankful you're not like everyone else, 'cause you walk with me through every valley, and you carry me through every storm, and you fight for me when all seems lost. And what did I do to deserve your grace and mercy? They follow me. Love so amazing unconditionally. When everything is closing in, you hide me underneath your wings, and I wouldn't have made it any other way except for grace and mercy. Your grace and mercy. Go on and let them talk, let them say what they want to say. But when they see me walk by with my head held high, it's 'cause I know what you've done for me. Yeah, I know what you've done for me. It's your grace and mercy, they follow me. Love so amazing unconditionally. When everything is closing in, you hide me up and I wouldn't have made it any other way except for grace and mercy. Your grace and mercy. I'm so thankful for grace and mercy, yeah.
Wow. No wonder your mother likes that one so much.
Thank you. Thanks.
This is where you can find her on Facebook. She's not on the Twitter. Well done.
Thank you.
Now, that one wasn't written for your mother, obviously.
No.
What does she like about that one?
I don't know. I think it probably just anytime I've played it live, it resonates with a lot of people. I've had people come up to me and say that how much they love that song. I think it's just a reminder to everybody, regardless of what you've been through, that, everything that's gotten you from there to here, every good thing is from God, and every good thing comes from Him. And even the difficult stuff, you make it through because of the grace of God. We don't go completely stir crazy, even though we feel like we might sometimes, myself included, when things don't go our way. But the only reason I haven't gone stir crazy is because of the grace of God, and that hope that things get better. Every day is a new day.
You find that that's an underlying commitment or an underlying inspiration for all your music, or you find, because most artists write about heartbreak and falling
and I
in
do
love
that too.
and, yeah,
absolutely. I have those songs as well, so people can find that on my Instagram as well. I do videos on there of songs that I write.
Instagram, how long can you go on Instagram?
You can
like 1
make
minute.
No, you can go longer now.
Oh, does it have to be live though?
You can go live on Instagram too.
But you can't upload more than a minute, can you?
Yeah, you can now. Yeah, you can. Like, people do like Instagram lives, and they upload it to their
I
grid.
get that, and you got like an hour on Instagram Live, I think.
Yep, and you can upload the entire thing onto your grid, like onto your.
What's the
thing.
limit for length of video on Instagram now? Because it was only 60 seconds before,
yes,
right?
so it used to be a minute, but now they give you the option: a short video or a long video.
And what's the long video? Do you know?
As long as I haven't done like a full hour live thing. But you can, like, people
That's
are
all
posting.
I need is another platform to put my stuff on.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are on Instagram. You could try it, just see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So, again, most artists, it seems like it's all about heartbreak and love.
Yep.
It's falling in love. It's falling out of love.
Yep.
That's it.
That's a part
all
of
we
it
write
too.
about.
I have those songs too. Yep.
Yeah.
So I think just as a songwriter, I think it's a balance, especially as someone like, yes, I am a Christian, but I'm still a human being living in this imperfect world. And so, yes, I talk about my faith and I write about my faith because it is a huge part of who I am. Mm-hmm. So that's going to come out. But I'm also human and I'm a woman. And so I go through things just like everybody else. I get my heart broken and I go through difficulties just like anybody else. Just because we're of a certain faith doesn't mean that we're exempt from going through what everyone else goes through. So I write about that as well.
You're already one of my friends that I don't have to remind, like, does God have to come? Like, there's a couple of my buddies. I'm like, dude, can we go 3 sentences? Can we talk about anything without you making a reference to the Bible somehow? I'm like, I'm not that guy. They're like, so you got to go gentle with me because I don't want to be the guy. And most of my guys, like, I'm not going to mention names, but most of my guys get it.
Yeah.
And if I set them up, by saying like, come on, like, it's like, I don't need to be preached at the whole time. There's, I know there's, for guys like that, there's other things other than, I know there's nothing other than God, but there's other things to talk about type of thing. So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think just everybody's passionate about different things and to like different degrees and stuff. So that's their thing and that's what they love talking about and that's cool. And to each their own.
The only reason it's on my lips so often now is because, my production role, right? And then when I'm downstairs with the kids,
Yep.
Like, usually I'm once a month downstairs with the kids. I come home. I'm like I just got off the radio.
Yeah.
Like I'm so high. I'm
Yeah.
so wound up and exhausted at the same time. Like I come up those stairs after one session.
Yeah.
Like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
They're vampires. They suck the energy. They just completely suck you dry of energy. I come up, I'm like, and then people see my shirt, and I'm like, I recognize that face.
Yep.
You've been with the kids all morning.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what it is because I never brought up children. You know, I don't have any kids myself. So
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just not used to it. Maybe it doesn't always happen that way, but everyone's like, oh yeah, dude. Yeah, they suck you dry.
Yeah.
And they're not doing anything. They're just
Being themselves. Yeah,
just being
that's what they do.
So that's it's been a little bit of a challenge for me because I missed that. Man, what's it been? Since February or something?
Since March or something, yeah. Yeah.
Like I was on the last service where we played to an empty house. And it was only a few weeks in, and I said to Derek, I'm like, the first week back, I want in.
Yeah.
Like, make sure I'm on the crew. If it's not too much to ask, if I don't, like, because I don't have the most seniority there, but I'm getting there now. I mean, I've had a few years on the switch, still learning, still come home and go, oh, you suck. Because it's like an instrument. There's a real rhythm to switching cameras. So, like,
for sure. It's a gift.
You
Yeah.
can press the buttons.
Yeah.
Anyone can do that.
Yeah.
But it's going to the right person at the right time to capture
shot.
the feel and the mood.
Absolutely.
It's really difficult. And so I found that even 3 or 4 years in, I'm still getting the hang of it.
Oh, for sure. And it's always learning. I think it's a good thing. Like even with music, with learning an instrument, writing, any skill, I think, you're always learning. You should never stop learning. No one ever like arrives and say they know everything about a subject.
I got a few people that think they Anyways, I want to respect your time, but we're already 40 minutes in. See how fast it goes by?
Oh, it is fast.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
So, and I want you to be able to get as much music out. And then if you've got the time, we'll work on making you a YouTube star later.
Okay. Yes.
So what do you got planned for the next one?
For the next one, well, since we were talking about, writing love songs and stuff like that, or heartbreak songs as well as Christian songs, might as well do one of each.
Okay.
You can do that.
All right. I'm just going to pull you up again over here, and the website is jenniferlynn.net, and then I'll bring you the mic. So, and then I'm hoping the sound will be good. I'm getting better every time with the sound.
That's awesome. See, always learning.
jenniferlynn.net.
I know you're hurting, honey, I'm hurting too. But I want you to know that I can see right through all the hurt and pain you feel inside. Yeah, I see your scars, but I can raise your mind. And I think I could belong to you. You push and I pull, and round we go. My sun's rising, yours is always setting. You're a fire out of control, and I'm the ocean waves on your shore. I'm an answered prayer you run away from getting. A broken heart, faded love, Did you really think you were the only one? 'Cause I've had my share of missing pieces. I guess we're both a little rough around the edges. But I think I could belong to you. You push and I pull and round we go. My sun's rising, yours is always setting. Your fire out of control, and I'm the ocean waves on your shore. I'm an answered prayer you run away from getting. You push and I pull and round we go. My sun's rising, yours is always setting. Your fire out of control, and I'm the ocean waves on your shore. I'm an answered prayer you run away from getting. But I think I could belong to you.
Like, I don't get starstruck very often, but that's really good. I know
Thank you.
Anyway. See, you're not focused on me, and I'm not really even looking at you.
Mm-hmm.
But the smile is straight off my face. I'm like, how can I have worked with you all these years? Never knew your name. I'm telling camera people to pick you up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, did you change your name? Because I never knew your name.
All those years you never knew my name?
I guess not.
How was
I doing it? Pick up the blonde?
That's what I'm wondering. Like, how did you tell people to put my face on the camera?
I don't know.
Get the blonde camera too.
But anyway, and then I've been chatting up Jen Chapin to you for not comparatively.
Yeah.
Just because, when we met the other day for coffee, like that was one of my favorite clips, and you're an artist, and I want to reproduce that clip with you because it sounded so pro.
Yeah.
She was on the phone again from Manhattan. And then I stitched it together. She talked about the song, and I just stitched it to put the song after. So it wasn't actually, we didn't do it like we're doing it now.
Yeah.
But I'm just sitting here going, like all these bad words are going through my, this is how I self-express is with swear words.
Okay.
Like the worst ones you can think of. And they're like, I'm thinking, oh. So well done. I don't know. I don't get impressed all that easily, I don't think, but like that is beautiful.
Thank you.
It's a really nice song. So did we talk about that in depth?
So that one I wrote back in March, I believe. So it didn't take very long to write that one. I remember it was a Sunday afternoon.
I'm calling
that.
it.
Yeah.
You're going to be a star.
Thank you.
You're putting the effort in. You just got to be smart about the marketing and the.
Yeah. Yep.
Like you've got too much talent to, like, you know what? Niagara's got so much. I know a lot of musical talent in town, and I've had many of them play the show.
Yeah.
Some of her teeny bop music, you know, the kind of Taylor Swift wannabes and but, you know, I love them all the same. But
Yeah.
you got some soul, girl.
Thank you. I
And
appreciate that very much.
It takes like a special type of person to be able to write. You're writing like the notes and the music, and like I can't you see that guitar over there.
Yeah.
I've had it 10 years. I can barely do a D chord. I can do a D.
Yep.
I can do that's all around the D minor. I don't know whatever this is with the pinky.
Yep. It takes
I
practice.
can't. And
even I'm not where I want to be guitar wise. Like
you don't need to be though, because when you can write music like that, like the same with Aaron Berger. He's like, Jimmy, I'm not a guitar player. Josh Mills, same thing. But they know how to write music and compose. Like in Berger's case and Josh's case too. They're bringing in violins and horns and like, who writes this stuff?
Yeah.
Or do you just hand it over to the violinist and go, here, do something with it?
Yeah.
Put a solo, like you'll figure out where to put the solo in, but like you don't need to be Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, well, I try not to. Like it's so easy to compare yourself too. I think we all do it from time to time. We all have the comparison bug, right? And so I have to try really hard not to compare myself to really, really awesome guitar players because that's their gift. And I'm a songwriter first. And the reason I picked up the guitar so I could write. And so I definitely want to get better as time goes
How long have you
on.
been playing guitar then?
Oh gosh. I first started teaching myself probably like 10 years ago, but it wasn't serious.
Right.
It wasn't serious until like maybe the last 5 years or whatever. And I never took.
Do you understand how that gives people hope that are watching and don't play? Like, because Aaron Berger was he's still a huge. You can even see on the camera that You Are Me. This is kind of like their thing. We are all one together. The You Are Me Army. And where was I going with that? Oh no, like he would tell me 15 minutes a day. You're playing guitar in 30 days. That's 15. I'm like 15 minutes a day. Even I can find the discipline for now. As it turns out, I didn't find the discipline to play 15 minutes a day for 30 days.
Yeah.
But like instant hope, because that I can get around. Now I'm 6'4", and these hands don't work all that. They don't have the dexterity. I know no one does. And you know, I was at the Mansion House again with another band. I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Chris. But he's like, Jimmy, there's a hump. Like, because I can play 3 or 4 chords, but I can't get to them.
Yeah.
Like, I can see my fingers, and they just won't move the way I want them to. They're like lead and slow.
Yeah.
And
I remember teaching
as soon as
myself.
you get over that hump, then it gets fun. Then you're picking up the guitar all the time, because right now it's like pain.
It's getting through the when you don't have any calluses yet on your fingers. And getting to the point where you do have calluses. So now I have calluses on my fingers. And so now it doesn't hurt unless I'm playing and practicing for like 2 hours and then I got to put it down. But I remember teaching myself. My dad got me this guitar that I'm holding. It was for, I think, a Christmas present one year, actually, when I was still married. And I think for so many years, he saw in me what I didn't see in me yet. So he's always encouraging me, and he always, I don't know, for as long as I can remember, he's always just kind of joked with me and said stuff like, when are you gonna get famous? When you get stuff, but he says it as a joke, but he's like half kidding, half not. But he's always encouraged me. Both of my parents have always encouraged me, and believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself. And I'm very fortunate to have had people, friends and mentors along the way that have done the same thing. So I wouldn't be able to do this without them.
I don't want you to play another song because I feel like it's like, how can it get better than the last one? Okay, the first one was okay, Ma. Okay, I get it. I say that lovingly. I don't know your mother. But man, that's what was that one called?
That was called Belong to You. Yeah. So that's on my Instagram too. Like I'll do videos and I'll post it on my Instagram until
you gotta get it in a studio.
I've been in the studio once only, and Mr. Derek Elliottson.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. So that was
Don't lose that connect.
probably, he's amazing. He's super talented.
Oh, yeah. And he plays drums and guitar.
he plays everything.
DJs. Like, he's sound man. He's brilliant.
Absolutely. So just quite a few years ago when I was still at Central, I wrote a song called Back to the Basics, and he heard it, and he said, hey, come into the studio, and he had heard a riff like in his head, like he could hear it. Yeah.
Song?
And so I went to the studio. It was my first time in the studio, so I was super nervous, but he's amazing. And
it
was a great experience. He's all set up at his home. He's got like everything pro, like everything top notch.
Oh yeah.
And great experience, and it turned out amazing. And I remember the first time I heard it, it was actually in front of other friends of mine for the first time.
So you've got a professional cut of that?
I do. It's on my SoundCloud. So you can go on SoundCloud, and if you scroll down, go to Back to the Basics, and you'll see it. It's my only song that I've ever done in the studio so far. Sometime in the new year, I'm planning on going into the studio and doing some demo work and things like that.
Is that where you're going back to Derek?
Yeah. So I have a couple people in mind that I'm going to work with. And so that's the only one that I've gone to the studio before, but I remember hearing it for the first time in a studio, and him taking my mediocre, guitar playing skills and what he heard. But this is just a testament to the genius that he is, and any good producer, really, that they can take someone's, mediocre, guitar playing, and they can hear the full song in their head already. Mm-hmm. And what he did with that song, when I heard it for the first time, it was my song, but even I was blown away. I was like, that's my song. I was like, it was like it sounded, it was my first professional song that was done. And I was just so proud of that. And I was so appreciative to him. And it gave me more confidence as a songwriter, because just because it sounds like this on an acoustic right now, when you're playing live, or when you have the opportunity to get into the studio and make it larger than life, it gave me a lot more confidence of what my songs could be. And any great producer, that's what they do. So I'm always going to be so appreciative to him for giving me that opportunity.
I found you on SoundCloud.
There I am. So I haven't uploaded like the new stuff. A lot of my new stuff is on Instagram. So I have to update my SoundCloud. But yeah. And then the funny thing is too, after I recorded that in the studio, a couple years later, I actually wrote a new part for it. So I have to go back into the studio and update the song. But you'll get the idea.
You got quite the library here.
Yes. So it's just me and my guitar, except for that one song that Derek Elliottson produced.
Bluebird, Feet on the Ground, Grace and Mercy, Leave the Light On, Run Around Town, Tennessee, Way It Is, Still Gonna Shine. And which is the one you did?
Back to the Basics.
Back to the Basics. Okay. Well, maybe we'll play that one on the way out. What are you playing next, and what's it all about?
Well, I can play Back to the Basics if you like. You can do that live.
Okay, what's that? Well, we can play back. Let's play Back to the Basics, the studio cut on the way out.
Oh, okay, sure.
Right?
Yeah, we can do that.
And we'll just end with that. And
sure.
then it'll give us time to have the cameras off and kind of get set.
Okay.
And then, so what else you got in your bag of tricks there?
Okay, so this is a song called Bluebird. And it's just, I wrote this, I think it was, I would say 2018, I want to say, somewhere around there.
Okay.
So it's at least a year old. And so this song just talks about all the things that you go through in life, the good and the bad, and how they make you who you are. And everything that I've experienced in my life, the good and the bad, has made me who I am. And eventually pushed me and encouraged me and to sing, and to now I'm able to sing in front of people and write for people. And so you can, a lot of people, we like to think, all the good things that happen to us, and we acknowledge all that, but a lot of times we forget sometimes to even thank the people that hurt us, and the people that broke our hearts, and the people that are the hard circumstances. We don't really like to thank that. But a lot of times,
enough of that already.
No, exactly.
That's what
And we don't think to be thankful for those moments. But when you're on the other side of it, and I can see now in my life, a lot of things that have worked out the way they have worked out for the good. And I know, like, there's a verse in the Bible that says that, you know, God works all things together for good. And it's for our good and for his glory. So we can always say thank you no matter what's happened if we have that perspective. So I can see how different things have shaped that. And so it's about the good and the bad shaping who you are.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the website, jenniferlynn.net. And stand by. We'll come back with the last live song.
Yes. I've had something to say since I was young. I almost didn't have a chance to. Life did all it could to bite my tongue. But this heart's still beating thanks to you. Life, it didn't mean a thing till you made this bluebird sing. I remember the first time that I met you. You saw a spark I thought had died. You fanned the flame higher and higher and held me up till I could fly. You breathed life into these wings and you made this bluebird sing. Now I can fly away, stronger than before. Because of you, I'm sure that I can find my way through that open door. Now I am secure. Now watch this bluebird soar. There was a time when it seemed hopeless, no relief or end in sight. I had to pick up all the pieces, but you helped me find my fight. Yeah, you tried to clip these wings, but you made this bluebird sing. Now I can fly away, stronger than before. Because of you, I'm sure that I can find my way through that open door. Now I am secure. Now watch this bluebird soar. Yeah, you made me who I am, the good and the bad, and nothing will be wasted. Yeah, you can bet on that. 'Cause I can fly away,
stronger than before. Because of you, I'm sure that I can find my way through that open door. Now I am secure. Now watch this bluebird soar.
The basics. I'm gonna have to find that. Wow, thank you so much. That was
Thanks.
I don't know why I'm so surprised. I mean, I've seen you sing, and then I've seen you play only since we became friends on Facebook just recently, and the universe works in strange ways. There you are. I'm like, that's her. Because anyway, I don't know why I'm surprised, but it's I think the lyrics and the songwriting.
Thank you.
It's not, the genius licks or anything like that, but you don't need them. And then it's weird that just last week I was telling you about Jen Chapin. She seems to got the same name. You won't believe the similarity.
Yeah.
Like that's Harry Chapin's daughter, Cats in the Cradle.
Nice.
Like that. He's a legend.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And she's like she's a school teacher too, but activist. Okay. Left wing, total like feed the hungry, like really good soul.
That's awesome.
And no bullshit about her type she's hard.
Yeah.
And Stephen Crump, her husband, plays the stand-up bass.
Okay.
And he's just ridiculous.
Oh.
Like just a witch.
Nice.
Like he makes that thing talk. You know how big those things are.
Yeah.
And it's strange. I'll put you in touch with her.
Absolutely. That'd be awesome to connect. Yeah, for sure.
See what comes out of that.
Cool.
See, this is what I love to do. First of all, for me, there's nothing better. Like I was up north a couple of weeks ago with a couple of high school friends I haven't seen in forever. And, the only discs I had on me were Theater Crisp and, local musicians, Aaron Berger and the Blue Stars. I forget who else. Anyways, I gave them the disc because they wouldn't let me stop playing the music.
Yeah.
They're like, Jimmy, put it on again, which was fine with me because I know all the words. These guys are hearing it for the first time.
Yeah.
But Jimmy Reed is like, dude, what is this? I go, Theater Crisp. And then I got a vocal sample on one of the tracks. So like, that's fun. I'm like, can you hear me? But that's like, what fills me up is introducing someone to music that they'd never heard of, and they can follow for the rest of their lives, and they can say, well, geez, local band. And even the fact that they're my friends is cool too, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, if you set a guy and a girl up and it becomes something really cool, it's just like you can say, hey,
that was
a part in that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And
then, either through church or sometimes through my work in real estate when I used to be a realtor. And this show, my hope is that somebody sees it and goes, oh, yeah, that interview with Jennifer Lynn. And you know what I got out of it? And from now, like, it changed my life forever. Or you said this and wow, thank you. I had no idea.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's all like my mother used to say, when I was bummed, depressed or whatever, she'd kind of kick me in the ass and say, now go do something nice for someone else. It's not about you. That's what your problem is that you're all focused on stop feeling sorry for yourself. Go do something for someone else.
Yeah.
And she was right.
It helps. Yeah.
You know, the figurative, you put the jacket down in front of the puddle for a lady or something like that. Like, I know that's figurative, but we get this is such an egocentric time.
Yes.
A self-centered time. And especially now after COVID.
Yeah.
And, I was one of the guys that said after 9/11, oh, this changes everything. We're going to go back to our gardens, our dinner parties, our churches, our families, our dinner tables.
Yep.
And maybe it did for a little while. I think COVID forced us to go there a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that all works out. And I want to see the blessing in COVID, but I'm so damn angry. I can't get the anger out yet with the masks and the death rate. And we are making a big deal out of this thing. Like it's, yeah, okay. I get it. But just like an overreaction. So like for me, it's the best thing I can do is hook two people up that didn't know each other, or introduce someone to music, or introduce them to a conversation that might set them up to change their life.
And that's the hope. That's why I do music. That's why I write and sing what I do. Hopefully everything that I've been through, at the end of the day, if someone else is encouraged by it or feels hope because of it, or it just makes their day, or it's what they needed to hear, whether it's a song, whether it's a blog, then I know that everything that I've experienced wasn't in vain. And I think that's the main focus for my life and going forward. That was my prayer that I asked God so many times, in tears even, saying like everything that's going on right now, over the years, the last few years that I've been through, really makes me angry and sad and depressed and lonely and all that kind of stuff. But I said, what would make me even more angry would be if it was all in vain, if it was for nothing. And so that's my prayer was, make this count for something, make this count like big time. And hopefully someone else will be able to learn from it, or get hope from it, or get encouragement from it. Put a smile on their face, make their day. If they hear a song and it changes somebody's life, or if they read a blog and it was something they needed to hear, that's the focus.
Well, you made a difference for me today. I'm grateful to have you as a friend now.
Yes.
And in the studio and playing and pouring out your heart. And wow, you're really good. Thank you for that.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. It's, and I confessed this to you, I think last week when we had coffee, for lack of neither one of us were drinking coffee. I did get one of those.
I noticed
those frilly girly
pink
drinks. Yeah, it's.
I had a hot chocolate,
strawberry cream or whatever.
Yeah.
$6.50 they are now. I haven't bought
it's
one
for
in a few
venti.
years.
Well,
It used to be like $5.
Because I don't drink coffee. So
back on it again.
Yeah, so I love the smell of coffee. I just don't like the taste of it. I never have.
Oh, you just got to put lots of cream and sugar in it. It's a new drug to get hooked on.
So what I do, like
me.
for me, like it's either hot chocolate, peppermint hot chocolate specifically, or on Sundays right after church, I go to Starbucks and I get a venti vanilla Java chip frappuccino. And I don't want to know the ingredients in it because I want to continue to enjoy it for as long as I can. It's probably completely not healthy for me at all.
Horrible.
It's highly addictive. It's pretty much like a glorified milkshake is what it is. It's a frozen milkshake. But yeah, that's my thing.
Back to basics is what you want to hear on the way out?
Back to the basics, sure, yeah.
Back to the basics.
Yes,
okay,
it's produced by Derek.
Go in depth about what this is, and then you can give all the props to Derek.
So it was written actually quite a few years ago. I would say probably 4 or 5 years ago. And it was produced by Derek Elliotson in his studio. Really great job. Just amazing talent he is, and just overall great human being. And I wrote it pretty much talking about just getting back to your roots, just getting back to who you are, back to your faith, back to the roots of who you are as a person, your dreams, your goals, whatever that is for you, just getting back to the basics of who you are and who you want to be, back to the foundation.
Who else is on it?
Me.
Just you.
Well, Derek's playing all the instruments.
He played all the rest of the instruments.
Yes.
So
as
did
far
you
as
play
I
any
know.
instruments?
No, I did not.
He put all the
Well,
music around.
the thing is, for someone like me, that my guitar playing is very limited, and I get in the room with someone like him, I'm just going to let him just do that because that's his gift, and he's very good at it. And I would much rather him do that.
Yeah,
so I just kind of let him run with that, and he did a fantastic job.
Anything you want to say to wrap up?
Thank you for having me, and for everyone who's watching, thank you for listening. And
Contact information. How do we get a hold of you? We've talked about all.
So Instagram is
Instagram's your main
Ms.
feed.
Jennifer Lynn _ so MS Jennifer Lynn LYNN _ is my Instagram, so you can hear and see new music and blogs and daily happenings in my life. I have a music Facebook page. I'm still working on it, but I am on Facebook, so you can find me, Jennifer Lynn. And then my website is jenniferlynn.net. And then I'm on SoundCloud as well. And we're going to get my YouTube channel up and running as well. So I'll just keep watching my Instagram and Facebook for that too.
Look at this beauty. Wow. You don't take bad pictures either.
Thank you.
Jennifer Lynn, that's it for us. Share it around if you like it, and we'll talk to you. Well, who do we got? Hang on a second. What do I got? Viz is coming up tomorrow. Erin Visitine. She's her own radio host. Well, not lately. The Viz shows up tomorrow. That's Thursday at noon. I've been going 3 o'clock all day, all week. Noon, because Ivy's in school. So we need to get that done before she gets out. And then I think I'm going to interview Ivy. She's 5, and she is a pro at Mario Kart or whatever. And she's a ham. And I had Bella Morales on. When she was 11. She did the reading at church, the Christmas story. Absolutely broke my heart at Christmas. Now, that's the youngest kid I've had on, and she was amazing. Mm-hmm. And her brother was on 2 weeks ago. He's 20 now. But if I can get Ivy to come on, that'd be cool. She's 5. And then Friday at 3 o'clock, I got Paul Layton. He's going to bring the keyboard. He's going to play some music. And then we're going to get really political. So on the way out, here it is. Jennifer Lynn, back to the basics. Enjoy, everyone. Not playing.
There's a change in the air tonight. Don't quite know what it is, but I have a feeling come morning light, nothing's ever gonna be the same again. I went down the road most traveled, away from everything I knew. That's when it started to unravel and left me with the cold, naked truth. I'm getting back to the basics of you, getting this heart back on track. I'm getting back to the basics of you, and this time there's no turning back. All the pretty lights can blind you to everything that really matters. I pick my dreams up from the gravel, I watch them glow, then watch them shatter. I let my worries take me under, drowning in impossibilities. track.